Well, it's springtime again, so that means I have to mess around with my studio. Oh, and happy birthday, YouTube. 10 years. Congratulations. So, YouTube's birthday was about 2 weeks ago, middle of February, February 15th. The domain name youtube.com was registered by 3 gentlemen. And I could give you the name Chad Hurley and Jawed and Steve. YouTube began its glorious rise, and this was all in 2005. So one of the things to think about is I came to Japan in 2003. And so at that time, there were a couple of online video sites, College Humor, and I can't think of the big one that Numa Numa guy was on. It's still around in some form or another. I'll put a link in the bottom if I can think about it, if I can find it. So YouTube is 10 years old. In 2005, 2006, it got its start. Smosh started in right away into 2005. John Green wrote a really great Medium article on that, and I'll link that, not here, it'll be down there. But I'll put a word here that says Medium by John Green. That's almost, you can click on it, but then I stop. Ha ha ha. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about how things have changed because YouTube has come around. The idea of making money on a video online was pretty much impossible. You could throw some stuff up on a couple of the sites, and generally there was no way to get any income on it. You would link that video to your homepage and throw ads on that. And you might be able to do it, but nobody was really making that a full-time gig. There were a couple of companies that were, but no individuals that were just making content that way to be able to do that. 2006, 2007, the Vlogbrothers came on the scene with Brotherhood 2.0 with their 1-year thing. Even Zay Frank started off of YouTube, and then eventually, just recently, put a copy of the show on YouTube for people to watch. It was really a very grassroots sort of a thing. People were making videos just for the fun of making video, and most of it was 320 by 640, 30 frames a second maybe, and the quality wasn't that great, but some interesting things came about it. If you dig back and find The Machine Is Using Us, and that one I will throw a link in the bottom. I've talked about it a little bit before. It's a really interesting look from a cultural anthropology perspective on how people are using YouTube and what it means. In that video, you'll see a lot of social media sites and things that are no longer around that were the biggest things at the time. So 2006, 2007, Vlogbrothers, Philly D, Shay Carl, I believe, got his start around that time. Give me a break, man. Give me a flake, man. Victor got his start around 2007. In summer of 2007, the partnership program started kicking in. It was still a really difficult club to get into, and not everybody was able to do it and get in and become a member. Members got special privileges for their channel page and a lot of that stuff. That has kind of all fallen by the wayside after the Google acquisition around 2009, I think, maybe 2010. The Google acquisition for $3 billion was a great deal. When you take a look at things like Instagram going for 15, WhatsApp going for 18, YouTube at 3 was a pretty big acquisition. And I think it was the largest up until then. And with YouTube at that time, there was a lot of pressure from the copyright people, and the future of YouTube at that point was a little unclear. And then around 2010-11, everybody kind of lost their crap, and everybody decided they were going to get YouTube famous and become rich on YouTube. Rich on YouTube is still a goal for a lot of people, some people, and it's possible to do, but it is not easy. The easiest way to be huge on YouTube right now was to have started in 2007. I think at the heart of it, YouTube is still has pieces of what it used to be. It was a small blogging platform for people who wanted to just express themselves. The commercial aspect of how it works now is interesting and a little different from where it started, but really, let's again go back to thinking about 10 years ago. YouTube is a viable career option if you're willing to put the work in and have a modicum of talent that you can exploit. It is not an easy road. Take a look at Megwin. Megwin's been doing a video a day for, what, 4, 5, 6 years? 7? And he's still middle in ranks in Japan as far as YouTube goes. He's up there, but it's nowhere near what Smosh and some of the other internationals, big internationals, are. So I think for a lot of people, making a career out of YouTube is a possibility, mainly because it builds a skill set in video and editing and all of the things attached to that that people really aren't going for. And in Japan, there's not a lot of people doing it. Japan is still a really tiny community. Our gatherings are still quite small compared to like VidCon and stuff like that, and Summer in the City and some of the other big countrywide gatherings that people put up. It'll be interesting to see what happens with YouTube in the next 10 years, because we're still in early days. YouTube is still trying to figure out what it's doing. Evidently, there was a terms of service change last week that it won't affect most of the J-vloggers, but it might affect some because of how they're putting their videos together. It's a little bit different how YouTube is used and some of the cultural mores that go along with that. But it is an interesting hobby. I really enjoy it, and I will have another video for you. I have to finish editing, but there's so much footage of a diving trip in Okinawa to a place called Three Rocks. So if you check that out, I'd appreciate it. It'll be up in the next couple of days. What are your thoughts on YouTube? Where do you see YouTube heading? What do you use YouTube for? Are you a YouTube creator? If you are creating stuff, leave your channel down below and in the comment section. And I will try to figure out my lighting situation. I got this one too low and that one probably too high. It's fun. All right. See ya. Bye.